So with week 7 and underway, 8 games behind us, here is where the teams are on the table. As we just saw, well, Roccat lost out, Gambit lost out. They are both tied at 10-6. So nobody really wants to break away and win this league so far. SK Gaming, well, look at that. They certainly want to. They are now at 9-7 and they are on a tear.
Yeah, they are performing incredibly well. In 4th place, we have a 3-way tie as the Copenhagen Wolves, Fnatic, and Superhot Crew all share 8-8 records. 7th place is Alliance at 6-10. Unfortunately for Millennium, another loss means they're in 8th place at 5-11.
Yeah, it's starting to sink without a trace. It's a bit of a problem and a bit of a worry for Millennium fans. This is, of course, where we normally look back at this week's matches, and highlight the 5 OP players. But this week, well, it's an OP team with SK Gaming's entire lineup. Yeah,
and the entire team performs well all the time. I said it earlier, I'm going to say it again. This is Europe's strongest team right now.
Absolutely. So let's look at those teams. Of course, it is Freddy122 in that top lane. You can see he's just had 1 death and an average 191 CS at 20 minutes. Playing fantastic in the top.
Yeah, played both Renekton and Aatrox and doing phenomenal on both champions. I love his Aatrox pick. Next up, let's talk about Svenskeren in the jungle. 69% kill participation. He played Pantheon yesterday, destroyed with it. Played Evelyn today, and I'm super impressed to see he did as well with it.
But look at this. Jez's 20 KDA on Nidalee in 2 games. Playing amazing.
Some might say he uses an aimbot. Next up, we have to talk about Candy Panda. He's only given up 1 death this week. He went 12-1-10. He had a great game on Vayne yesterday. Think about that first blood he managed to secure against Superhot Crew. And today on Lucian, unkilled. Very, very good performance. Solid ADC.
And alongside him, of course, the support N-rated 24 KDA. Played as Annie, pulled out that KO support, and he said it himself. He's playing alongside the best AD carry in Europe, Candy Panda.
I really want to stress some more numbers. The SK OP team of the week. 32 kills, 5 deaths, and 74 assists in 2 games. Those are mind-boggling numbers. There have been some teams that haven't got those many stats over 3 or 4 weeks of games, and SK are doing it consistently.
Fantastic turnaround for SK Gaming, that's for sure, coming into the Spring Split. And for our MVP this week, we turn to another team, of course. Even amidst the OP crowd, Amazing has stood out above all others and carried the Copenhagen Wolves to a perfect week with a 4-game win streak now.
So you need to take a look at his stats. 9, 2, and 15. He has 86% kill participation. Played Nocturne perfectly yesterday, played Lee Sin again today, and completely outshone Arenea's Elise. We do have another awesome clip that I'd like to roll for you of one of those great Lee Sin kicks. So let's pull that one up and let it roll.
And then now chasing in, Youngbuck gonna go low. Now the Wolves turn around, Amazing goes in. What an amazing kick that was! Curve goes down. This could actually be the game here for the Wolves if they play their cards right.
So that is back-to-back MVPs for Amazing. For the 2nd week in a row, I've been sitting here watching one of those, I'm not even going to call it insect kick, one of those amazing kicks. And you can't give him Lee Sin. Blind Monk is OP.
Yeah, there's a number of champions you can't give him, that's for sure. So he's playing fantastically well, really stepping up his game for SK Gaming. And of course, the LCS action will be continuing on Saturday in North America, where you can catch the first game of the day. XTG, a complete roster change for them, guys. We'll see how that one works out with Zuna back on AD carry. They're going to be facing Cloud9, though, so tough challenge in their first game with those roster changes. CLG, that's a team that's on a tear for sure. They're going to be playing Curse.
Then a team that is struggling in North America right now, Dignitas, as they take on the super hot Team Solo Mid, followed by Coast versus Evil Geniuses. We'll see how our ex-European brethren perform. Those matches will begin at 9 p.m. Central European Time. That's 12 noon Pacific.
I'll be watching, that's for sure. And of course, you won't have to wait long for the excitement to continue back here in Europe, as next week we roll into the Super Week games.
Yeah, that's right. We will be back here next Tuesday with 5 huge games. And kicking off the action will be the Copenhagen Wolves taking on Fnatic in a match I'm very excited to see.
Yeah, it all begins at a special time with an all-new LCS preview show. That's going to be at 4:30 p.m. Central European Time. It's an early one, folks, that's for sure. That will be 7:30 a.m. Pacific, so you're going to have to get up bright and early over on the West Coast there. And of course, immediately after the European LCS begins at 5 p.m. and that's 8 a.m. Pacific.
Well, now it is time for the European Challenger Series second half play.